As you determine your macros, as you learn more about how to fuel your body to feel good, our next layer that we need to start doing is building a structure that meets you where you are. And if we are busy individuals, structure is important. Think back to when you were a kid. Your parents had you on a routine. You went to bed at 8 o'clock, so that way when you woke up, you weren't cranky and losing your shit. You knew what was expected of you, and you followed that, and you were able to stay on track somewhat, but because someone was holding you accountable. But now, as an adult, you don't know how to do it. Your structure is what's trash, and we need to pivot and have a better structure that meets you where you are. You know your seasons where you're busy. If you're a late in life lesbian or you're a busy mom, my allies, we need to do a better job in looking at what we need to create. And so we'll talk about a couple different things on this structure. But the first step, no more fucking winging it, man. Let's get away from this mindset of like, yeah, I'll just like figure it out. That's where most people say, I can't get my protein. And then I'll ask you, are you winging it? Yeah, I'm not really writing anything out. Most of us don't write anything out. We hope and wish for things to happen. You want the weight to change, you gotta have a structure, because structure creates consistency. A client that won our scholarship this year, she has changed the way that she shows up because she started writing it out. This is one of our courses that we provide inside of school. And if you wanted more of that information and the document that comes with it, you would have to upgrade to that option. But this client is a busy individual. They're a teacher. They work crazy hours. They have a schedule that they have to create that fits them where they are. So understanding you, again, if you're a busy mom, late in life lesbian with kids, you have to build this structure to be successful. If you don't build the structure, you're gonna feel defeated and you're not gonna be able to meet your goals. And having kids doesn't mean you put yourself on the back burner, because we can talk about how to get creative and you teaching them how to be better about food. We're not going to get rid of everything for them being a kid and enjoying certain things, but you're going to talk about, hey, we're going to have more better options in our home so you can start to feel good, because the things that you teach them now is what they do later on in life. My home, we didn't learn that stuff. The things that I teach you here, I had to create this and teach myself how to win and how to be successful. And it takes time. It takes a lot of time, but you can do this. I can simplify it for you right now. This structure, like this paper that I have here, you could even put it in an app that's digital. This is a document. Let me show you a little bit closer. This is a document that has Monday through Sunday. And I started this when I was a teacher and when I was coaching. I was like, I cannot do this. I can't keep up. So I got into meal prep. I got into being more intentional with my time so I wasn't spiraling. I wasn't the most perfect, but I was learning. And that's the key, is that you're learning how to be better, right? Write it out is your first step. No more winging it. This paper, I write it out. My breakfast, my snack, my lunch, my snack, my dinner. Now, you might not be eating 5 meals, but the reason I did it that way is because I don't want to consume X amount of protein in 3 meals. So I broke it up into 5. So if I had to consume 120 grams of protein and I can't consume 40 grams at each meal, break it into 5 meals where it equals 28 grams. Make it to where it's easier for you. Understand you and see what works best. That's why writing it out is going to be so important. You're going to write out your meals. What are you going to have? That's another thing that comes in our subscription. We have a cookbook in meals that are simple or meals that have a little bit more, where you can make a huge serving with your kids. The Taco Bell burrito, the Crunchwrap Supreme, the pizza dish. There's a lot of things that your kids could like if you just take time to learn and dive into it. So plan and prepare. So like if you know you have things going on your Saturday, like kids have soccer or you have stuff going on with friends, I want to do a better job of planning and preparing. What does that mean? That means on Saturday, I'm going to make sure I get up and I do the damn thing. I'm going to move my body. I'm going to be intentional. And then I'm going to leave a little bit of a gap of food so that way I can enjoy myself and not feel guilty. So I'm planning my day out to be able to do the things. It's planning and preparing to win, not to fucking lose. When you don't plan, you fail. When you plan, you can do a better job and you can be more prepared where you're not going to feel guilty. Okay? The KISS method is going to help with that. What the fuck is the KISS method? Well, since my wife is a picky person and doesn't like to eat the same things every day, which I can, but I get it. Not everybody likes to do that. And so I was like, you know what? Let's keep it simple, stupid. Let's make options that we both enjoy. And so how do I do that when it comes to the KISS method? You have your protein and you have your carbs. Fats are obviously going to be in most of our foods. So just keeping in mind in that. And as women, we only get 3 choices. Crazy to think that we only get 3. So the more and more ingredients you have to your meals, it does make it go over. So I would do 2 to 3 options on protein, 2 to 3 options on carbs. My 2 to 3 options could be ground beef, and I always want to get the leaner beef. So my 93.7, okay? I could do ground turkey, and I could do chicken. There's so many options that I can do, but understanding my protein source, and then I can go to this and start writing out my meals. Okay, I have my proteins determined. What can I make? We also have this again in our cookbook where we have a meal that has the ground beef, which is the Crunchwrap Supreme. It breaks it down for you, and that would be your item. And I can make 5 of those for the week, or maybe with your kids, it's like, hey, Wednesday nights, it's Mexican night, or Tuesdays if you want to do Taco Tuesday, whatever it is. But that way, you are more intentional because you planned and you got prepared to fucking win. Okay, 2 to 3 options on carbs. I got oats, I got rice, and I'm gonna put taters. And that could be sweet taters, that could be russet taters, that could be yellow taters. Whatever your choice is, okay? Paying attention to it. There is other ones, they're carbs that are lower end of calories. So like your quinoa, your cauliflower rice, those things that are carbs. But these are the options that are gonna help us feel more full, okay? And we have 2 options of carbs, simple and complex. Simple is gonna be that quick absorbing, so like a Cinnamon Toast Crunch. That's what I like to have after a workout because it's quick absorbing. A complex carb is gonna be your rice. That's gonna make you feel more full for longer, okay? So that's the KISS method. I keep it simple, stupid. I write everything out on here. That is legitimately how I do it. And let's say you don't want to cook everything and prep everything. Well, how about I just cut up my meats and put them in containers, and then I build my day, and then I cut up and prep my other stuff like my veggies and things like that and make it ahead of time, or I put it in a container. You don't have to prep an entire week, especially if you like things fresh. My wife knows when we have chicken that's left over. She just does. So I cut up a couple chicken breasts and then I'll put them in the fridge and then we'll air fry them because it's a lot quicker and I don't have to babysit. Who wants to babysit food? Not me after a long day. So I'll just throw it in the air fryer. Now, shop and pick up. This is something where I can help you save a lot of time. Parents that are on here listening to me, if you feel like you can't shop on a weekend because you don't want to fight everybody and their moms, and I get that, I can't stand it. So let's be intentional and say, you know what? I know I'm going to be busy on Friday because we got things going on. We're going out to stuff. Let's do a grocery pickup on Thursday because I know Saturday and Sunday I'm busy. So Thursday night is your grocery haul, meaning I'm going to go pick up after work. I'm going to pull into the Walmart or the Aldi's and they're going to fill up my car with my groceries. That time that you would spend in the store now is put in the kitchen. That helps you save time. I had a mom that was in here who has a son that's in baseball, and she was able to do that and give back her time and start fueling her body and winning on the weekends where they weren't buying fast food. And she's like, wow, I saved a lot of time just doing a grocery pickup. Okay, you could shop in store, but again, no one wants to fucking fight all the crowds on a Saturday and Sunday morning. That's why I do Thursday or Friday. But I also have a little bit of different time than you. My final step, because I always say this, do the damn thing. That's what it's all about, man. You need to execute. What does that actually mean, though? It means that you are showing up and you're getting everything planned for your new week. You're meal prepping. Either it's all the meals or it's something, so that way all you have to do, toss it on the grill, toss it in the stove, whatever it is, okay? Hope this was helpful, but we got one more and shifting our mindset around food. I'll see you in the next one.